Hello and welcome, as it is the 21st day of February 2018. My name is Derek. Everything within your own risk and your own reward. And I have my Cryptopia page up with XBY. That's what this video will be about, but talking about the cross with Litecoin. And the only way you can actually trade the two is use Bitcoin as a third party. But when I take a look at the orders, I see the price action 1780 to sell, 1827 to buy. So it's basically an 1800 Satoshi coin. Yesterday in a video, I did a giveaway. I did not announce it in the video. Rather, I put it in the comments section. If anyone could guess what my largest sell order would be, or what is and was, it hasn't changed, would win a generous gift. And when I look at the orders in here, when you're logged in, it will state with a little icon button which sell order is yours. So as I scroll on, I see price action at 26. I'm not selling for a while unless I get a buy soon. But there's the green bars here at 27.79. Let's scroll down the very bottom. The largest sell order somebody has, someone wants to sell 0.2 XBY at 555.01. Now someone wants to sell 1,335 XBY at the price of 5,500. That would net them over 7 million Bitcoin. Congratulations and good luck if that occurs. But none of these are mine. So let's scroll up and find the well, the next one that has those colors on would be mine. It's below 88. It's below 80. It's below 63. It's actually below 1. So it's not at 2, it's not at 199. I've talked about having insane orders in, so yeah, it's an insane number based on where the price is. Not as insane as the person who wants the vast majority of the Bitcoin supply. He's not going to get it. Crazy world if one would. It's below 0.89. It's below 7.5. It's below 7. My largest sell order, I have 110 for sale at 0.618033 price. Fibonacci number. That's why I figured it could have been figured out, because if one were to see this, it's like, hey, that's the golden ratio. Would Derek put something in like that? I want 67 Bitcoin. I don't need that many as the other person wants. The price would have been 109 XBY. I would have canceled this order, and I have to pay 1 XBY to transfer it. But the giveaway is not being done in this video. If I find, or when I find another interesting way, stay tuned. A giveaway will happen. I'm going to do a whole bunch of them now and again, mainly sporadically. I talked about a big one later on that I would like to do as far as what I call the final exam, but that would be about a year away or longer, or close to. Let's go on to the XBY cross with Litecoin. Start with the data. In column A, I have the price. And column B, I have the moving average. And column D and E just multiplies these numbers by 100 million. So this is how many Satoshis this was. The date of the first row is April the 1st of 2017, with each day being daily time frame. This is when it came out of its infancy worth nothing days, and started to shoot much, much higher as it went from 1 Satoshi against Bitcoin. And then it went, well, 1,200, 4,700. So if you happen to be at a very early player, you now can start liquidating out. Of course, I'm going to talk about my strategy in buying low, selling high. Price hits 5 digits, 12,000. Then 22,000, 41,000. So now you're wondering, how much do you sell there? Because that's what that is. And if you're selling 41, where can you buy back? You can definitely buy in the 20s. You're pretty much around half off at this stage. And then buying there was glorious in the sense that, oh, 6 figures now. Price action goes to 120,000. And it would have been at that point well above the 18 average of closes, or twice above such. And that's always a spot where Even if it's a magnificent coin that's going to be the be all and end all in the future, it's going to go through its up and down blips. So when you see these price going down, it's not a surprise. It's also a buyback. You sell in here, you buy back in here. You can buy back in the 40s, of course. And the price even falls down to 25, which ends up being a very key support number. Of course, you don't, well, you could figure that out at the time, and you'd be hoping it might be if you don't want to buy more. And that's the way I am. When I buy a whole bunch, I'm like, come on, stop going down. I want to get some sales. But the market does what the market does. And then it goes down to even 19,000. Just down a lot. But up to 42, up to 57, and back down to 26, 35. So you can get a little bit of day trading back and forth opportunities. There's so many available, especially if you're even looking for 30-40% moves. 25-30% moves, there's a numerous amount of them. But here we see 40,000, 30,000, just hanging in there mainly. Up to 50. And then it goes back down to the 20s. So you sell at 50, you're buying back. And even down to 20 again. Back up to 45. Oh, up to 100. Okay. Things are changing, I guess. And up to 250, up to 330. And here's another spot, double above this number. So just like before, it's got to come down a bit. And we can see that it's done that. Down to 180, 160. Now down to 122. Breaking below 100, and that's where we stand. So we're seeing new lower prices along the way. The 18 average is now at 104.878. Price action is 83. So if the play was to buy, do I sell Litecoin to buy XBY, or do I sell XBY to buy Bitcoin or Litecoin? Well, other than looking at technical analysis that may change the direction, it's always a buy, at least within my strategy. But now let's look at a chart. This chart is a logarithmic one, which represents from as it was breaking out. So I put a lower scale number at 25. And within such a huge move, because as I've stated within the cryptos, when these things go, they go. And it's going to be more likely for codes like XBY and any of the very much exotic alternate coins are going to have just tremendous moves. But even Litecoin will have those tremendous up and down moves in different time frames that will show up in these charts. But there's a big move up to that high. As I stated, it was price action here. This is double above the 18 average. That's when it's the opposite of a down capitulation. In a down capitulation, you buy. In an up capitulation, you sell. So there's the sideways action where you could buy in the support areas of like 32,000 and below, and sell at like 40,000 and above, or 38,000 and above even. That opportunity lasts for quite some time, and then it had another fast move higher. If you're playing the range game where you sell low or buy low and sell high, it's going to work until the range dies. If the range dies to the downside, which it didn't do, then what would happen is you would notice that after you bought here, instead of getting your sell, it goes down more, and you have to decide, do I want to buy more? Do I want to get out of this game and just sell what I have for a loss? Now, if I were to play the range game, I'm doing so until it breaks it. And then if it does go lower, I would buy more. But if it breaks the range to the upside, which is what it did, then that means if you're just buying and selling everything, that means you would have sold out here on this upper end, and you would never have bought back, and you just would have watched the rally. Of course, if you are doing so, holding some back to sell for gains, these gains, you have all of this opportunity to sell from every moment when it left the 18 average to when it went below it, was sell opportunities. And now it's been resisting this 18 average of closes tremendously. We can also see that the support levels have recently been broken. If we connect these lows over the last 3, 4, 5 weeks, or since the decline, this move that brought it from like 120 into the, well, back into the 5-digit price range has been a huge, huge situation there. So now as far as Fibonacci, what numbers would I look at? I could work with these big lows down here, but I really don't know what they would be, so I'm not even going to try. And I do not have intraday levels as well, so I can only work with the best that I got. But I do know that Fibonacci upside is when you take an up move, which is obvious at the start of this, a price correction down, and well, we had huge, huge support at around the 25 level, so I can use that number. Fib upside target had so near 50 and 120, that is. So this is 50 and 120, 316, and I wrote hit because this was the upside target here. Okay, so that one worked out very well. Then we look at Fibonacci from this low, the breakout lows, and this high. We're looking for a 38.2% down move, as well as what the 61.8% down move is. Those numbers are 114,000 and then 58. So 114,000, well, we can see that it hasn't had much support. I'm going to change the scaling on this so I can see it better. Okay. So there we have that downtrend that I talk about. It's consistent with this whole decline within its up and down moves. And then as I've noted that once it last left the 18 average of highs, it had a decent breakdown below, a couple days of sideways pause action, and now it's had further moves to the downside. I would want to eliminate some days in here, even a couple hundred of them. So let me just change some of these numbers in here, and I'm just gonna put in, say, that. Okay. So I can see things a lot more clearly. I've already talked about the key numbers. At least the one we're looking at is 114. Interesting. That is the spot. That is the number where the market behavior changed, telling us that it's not an area for support, and it's showing us the area of resistance. So when I talk about risk reward, this is the risk in what I call fishing for a bottom at a spot you think support is probably going to be found, and not being right. Because at this point, you're supposed to get a bottom, and even if it's going to be a key top, and this is going to be a long-standing bear market, you're at least hoping to get a move up to the 180 to 200 number, 175 even, and then break down below this to go to the 61.8 down move. But no. So therefore, it's pretty clear to me that we should have a good chance of further decline within this. See, for me, I don't like taking the gamble chance and saying, you know what, why don't I just sell all my XBY now, or a good chunk of it, and then buy Litecoin, wait for this to go down to the key number, which is around the 50-40 area, and then just buy. And you know what, oftentimes when I think about that, I've been right and I lose. I was even thinking recently when the thing was around 3,000-ish. I mean, I think I'd probably save just to sell pretty much everything now. It's going to go down. I know it's going to go down. And yeah, well, I was right. But I realize that's, man, you get the failed move, fast move, or when the markets just go and they're ready, they just go up fast. And that's what I do realize as well. So it's really playing the safe way that way, so that when the big moves happen, you're ready to go. And I always try to make sure that I ensure, after I get decent amount of games after several weeks or months, that I can't lose on this code long term. And I'm already major profits on this one already. Where if I lose, if this goes to nothing, all my buy orders get filled, I would lose everything I had there, but I would still be profiting from the entire way. So 114 and 58. And these things always would be piercing extra. So I would be looking for a move below 50,000 Satoshi as an area where this would probably find an area for support against that on Litecoin. But I do look at this pattern and find it very, very interesting, to say the least. Also, when I talk about how markets in the crypto space go up a lot faster than they go down, case in point again, where XBY, a more wilder moving fund than Litecoin, had this up move that took from this low here, from this breakout point, it took like a week and change to get there, and this took a few months now, a couple months, or at least a month and a half anyway, going from this high to this low. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.